Select. Select. Select.
Hello and welcome back to the third episode of the Select School of Performing Arts podcast. And I am so excited for this episode because we have an absolutely incredible guest. We have a West End star with us and also one of our amazing Select teachers. So welcome, Bex. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, very excited as you can tell.
I find it so funny when I'm just doing my job, you know. It's like one of those
Pretty amazing job though, so amazing.
Oh, so lucky.
Yeah, so we're so excited and we're so grateful to have you on today. So thank you. So yeah, it'll be good just to start with if you can just, I'm sure there's lots of our students listening about how you started your performing arts training, how it all started really.
Yeah, so I started like quite classically in like my local dance school, just doing like normal dancing bits and bobs. And then I had a singing teacher there. She's like an icon. She's like one of those like quirky, gorgeous ladies. That she always used to have like the sequins on her eyes. She was amazing. And she basically was like, "You've got a really good singing voice." And I was like, "Really?" And I didn't think of anything of it. And she was like, "Do you want to come and join my choir?" So I was like, "Okay, great." So I went and joined her choir, and then I just did singing on the weekends and things. And then my mum was like, "Maybe we should get you a bit more into this." So then I looked into some colleges when I was in year 10, and I looked at Italia Conte and Erdang, because you can go at 16 there.
Yeah.
So the Brit school as well I looked at, because my mum and dad were like, "Oh, it's quite expensive. What are the other options?"
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're like a quite working class family, like, you know, money is a big deal.
Yeah, and it's expensive to go to drama school. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So we looked at those, and I got into Talia Conte, but without any funding. And then Erdang were like, "She's not quite ready yet. Can she come back in a couple of years?" And then Brit School were like, "Yeah, you can come to us." So my parents were like, "Rebecca, we're going to send you to Brit School because it's free."
Yeah, but the Brit school is absolutely amazing.
Well, at the time, I was like, I don't want to go to Brit School. I want to go to Italia Conte. You know, when you're younger, you see like all of the things in the programs when you go see shows, and you see like these names pop out, and you go, "Well, I have to go to one of those ones."
Yeah, because they're all from there. Yeah.
They're amazing. I have to go. Whereas actually, when I went to Brit School, I was so happy that I went, because it was the most incredible 2 years of my life. Like, I can't recommend it enough. Anyone that is really thinking about doing it as a profession, they do so many different, they call them strands there. So they've got musical theatre strand, they've got dance strand, they've got music, they've got media, they've got arts and design, and then stage management. They've got all of the aspects around a creative arts school. And I obviously did musical theatre, and I found it was the most incredible 2 years of my life. I loved it. And it really like helped me nurture my talent and what I wanted to be as a performer and who I wanted to be as a person as well. Because when you're 16, it's quite a scary time, isn't it?
Well, that's like sixth form. You had sixth form training, didn't you? So you're still, you're still not an adult. You're still young. You're still,
trying to figure it all out. And also that was a good kind of thing to go, do I really want to do this? Because it is such a hard industry. You have to go, is this really what I want to do?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And my mum and dad are, okay.
You will do it. We're sending you
for the roller coaster. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So that was really cool. So I did that. And then after that, when we were in our last year at Brit School, we then got tutors that helped us with our audition pieces and what to do for auditioning for those colleges that I mentioned before that were in the programs.
Yeah, and just so people, if they're listening, so they understand, then you were auditioning for a degree course, weren't you? So you were going back to Italia Conti, Dang, to a degree course.
100%. And again, there was options. There's degree course or diploma course. And at the time when I was auditioning, the government offered out dance and drama awards, which they only offered out to you if you do a diploma course.
Yeah.
And so I went in for the diploma courses because my parents couldn't afford the degree and all of that. So then I was like, okay, great. So then I auditioned for all the colleges, and it was one of those moments that really made me as a person and gave me that classic like thick skin. All of my friends got into everywhere, and I got rejection after rejection after rejection.
I mean, I was gonna say I can't believe it, but I can believe it because I know how tough the industry is, and you know, I've been there and we've all been there. But now look at you. It's like, wow. No, but it just shows you, isn't it, how subjective colleges are, people's opinions are.
100%.
You can go back now and be like, hello, West rejected me.
One of those things that I think it's so healthy to have the rejection so early on, because a lot of my friends that did get into all of the colleges, and then as soon as they finished training, got the agents and got the first jobs and worked. They, when they got their first rejection at maybe the age of 26, when they didn't work for maybe 6 months, a year, they really struggled. Whereas I was like, it's fine, like it'll work out. Do you know what I mean?
No,
and so thankfully I got into Erdang, because they obviously remembered me from when I auditioned when I was younger, and they were like, we think she's ready now, she's 18, however we don't have funding for her. And my parents are like, right, okay. So they had a big chat and they remortgaged their house for me, which was incredible. And I like can't thank them enough for it. And so then I went to Erdang, I did a month, and after working really hard and the teachers getting to know me, there was some opportunities to get some dadas. The government had given them extra dadas. So they asked like a small group of us to come and audition and sing. I then got called into the principal's office and she was like, we want to offer you a dada. And I just cried my eyes out. This is incredible. And then I rang my dad and I was like, Dad, you get your money back. And he was like, what?
It's late now.
He was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I've been offered this. So then they got all their money back, which was amazing. And they used it to, I don't know, like go on, like redo the house, go on holiday, treat themselves, something, which was lovely. And so then I did 3 years at Erdang doing the musical theatre diploma course. And then I graduated, and I was really, really lucky at our showcase, because at the end of 3 years training, you tend to have like an agent showcase where people come and watch you from all agencies, and they like pick out people that they like and they have meetings. And I was really, really lucky, and I got an agent from one of those. So then that's kind of how I got into the flow of the industry.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So lovely to hear, you know, and also for people to realize it's not just, you're from a young age, you can obviously tell you've got a talent, and then suddenly everything's yes. Like that's just not life, is it? And you had rejections, but that's actually probably pushed you to where you are now, because you have been able to kind of work through those points within your life to be like, no, I do want this, and this is how I'm going to get there. What's the biggest challenge that you face? Like, so you've just graduated. Was there a time like or just in your performing career, like the biggest challenge that you faced?
The biggest challenge, I'm trying to think, because when I left college, that's a different challenge to what challenges are now. So leaving college, the challenge was not to compare yourself to anyone else.
Yes.
It's so difficult. So I actually got an agent, but I didn't work for 9 months after graduating, whereas a lot of my friends were getting jobs, getting like lead roles and all of these sorts of things. And it's such a hard thing to go, well, that's happening to them, why am I not? I must not be good enough, and what's wrong with me, and all of those sorts of things. And they really run through your mind, and you're only 21. Some people even graduate at 18, 19. You're so young. A real big challenge for when you leave college is trying not to compare yourself to other performers, because this is the most annoying phrase, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I've got a story about that later on to tell you as well. But like everything.
Oh, I'm excited. Do you want to tell us now?
I can tell you, so everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And I didn't really believe that until literally like a year ago. So I've got an amazing little boy, and I'd gotten pregnant in a show. And the show closed, so I couldn't go back to work, because normally you have maternity leave and then you go back to the show. However, because the show closed, I finished when I left on my maternity, and I think my son was about 3 months. But I was auditioning for the show, and it was the hottest day of the year, and my son had thrown up all over me. I hadn't slept, and we had to bring him into London so that my neighbour could walk him around like central London while I went in and did this audition. I got through all the rounds.
You felt really prepared before that.
I mean, I went in
the best, isn't it? Just going into audition and being like, it is what it is. Yeah.
I was like, you're going to get what you're going to get. And it went really, really well. And then I did a dance round 3 months after having a baby. And I got through all these rounds, and it was looking so positive. This is going to be my next job. It's perfect. It doesn't start for a little while. I get a bit of time with my son. And I got a phone call and they said, you've not got it. And I was devastated. And I was like, being a mother in the industry has its like obstacles and all of that. Yeah. So it's trying to navigate all of that. And I was like, it's not going to work out. I'm going to have to just give up my career, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day my agent rang me and I thought, why is she ringing me? Is she telling me like I've got some feedback from the audition? She said, hey, I've got a phone call from Wicked. They'd like you to come back and be a maternity cover. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. I said, well, do I have to come and audition? She was like, no, they just want to give you the job, because I'd done it before.
Wow. Yeah.
They're like, I want to give you the job and it starts in a month and it's only 5 months. Do you want to come and do it? And it was one of those things, because actually it all worked out for a reason. Everything happened for a reason, because I was in quite a vulnerable place, and going back to somewhere that I knew, the building, I knew the creative team, I had friends in the show, I knew the show. It was a safe environment for me to be going back into instead of starting a new show. Because if I'd gotten the other job, I would never.
And what was the part you were covering?
I was covering Elphaba, first cover Elphaba, and second cover Nessa Rose, which was a new cover that I was learning when I went back, which was incredible. So it was, everything works, like everything happens for a reason. That couldn't be truer. Like,
yeah, just remember that. Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. Well, I know we've gone a bit forward.
Yeah,
we'll go back a bit. So yeah, let's talk about Wicked then. So tell us, what is it like playing Elphaba? Such an iconic role, especially now. I know you're not doing it at this moment, but especially now with the film. And what was it like? What was the call like when you got that role?
Honestly, it's literally what dreams are made of. I was going to say, like, the moment in my life where I knew I wanted to do performing arts, I was 13 and my parents had bought me tickets to go see Wicked. And like I said, like, we didn't have loads of money, so going to the theatre wasn't like a regular thing we did. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go see Wicked. And it was Idina Menzel was in it as Elphaba, iconic. And so I went and saw that, and I was in the front of the circle. And I remember in the interval, the curtain came down and my mum was like, are you okay? And I was in floods of tears. And my mum was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I love it so much. I was like, I want to do that. I was like, the music's just so incredible and so moving. And so that was the moment that I was like, I want to do this. So then the fact that I had gotten the job was just incredible. Prior to that, I had done Priscilla for a year, and then I hadn't worked for 2 years. And I was auditioning, I was working in a restaurant, I was having an awful time, and it was just rejection after rejection, and I was just in a spiral. I'd been at the restaurant that long, I was the supervisor. My agent had called me and I'd been auditioning for Wicked, and I thought, well, I've auditioned so many times, I've never got it, so it's not going to happen. And it was the day after the final, which is like, you never hear that quick. And I was like, hiya, thinking, oh, you've got another audition. She was like, we couldn't decide who was going to tell you, so we've got the whole of our agency on speaker. And they were like, you've got Wicked.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I was like, what? And I remember I was literally in the freezer of the restaurant, like, because I was like trying to be like subtle. And I was like, what? Oh my God. I was like, no. And I started crying, and everyone like that was coming into the freezer, like the chefs, they're like, are you okay? I was like, it's good. I was like, it's fine.
Happy days.
It was happy days. But that day, lots of people got lots of free food, because I was like, you can have a milkshake, do you want a brownie, do you want this? And like, it was so fun. And I just remember, like, that rest of that shift, there was a little garden outside, and I was calling all my friends. And I remember me and my husband were waiting to see if I could get a job before we were allowed to get a dog. And I rung him, and I didn't tell him I got the job. I just went, babe, we can get a dog. And he was like, you got it. So that was such an incredible moment to get that show, and building up my like thick skin, not working for 2 years, and then suddenly the role was available. I mean, I wasn't the role of Elphaba, I was swing second cover Elphaba, which was just incredible.
I think it's one of the hardest roles to be like, is you've got to know everyone's different tracks, everyone's different lines. You could be pulled on at any point to play a different character, and you don't know what you're going to do.
Literally,
amazing part.
It was incredible, and it was such a challenge as well to do, because I had been swing once before, but this swing was slightly different. There was a lot more to learn and all of those sorts of things. So that was just incredible. And to then be told you were cover Elphaba as well. I mean, when I told my parents, I bought a ticket for opening night.
Yeah.
And I put it in an envelope and I said, oh, Mum and Dad, I've got you like a little card. And they opened it and my mum was just like,
I'm so proud of you. I just enjoy like everything you've done. I'm so proud of you, and it's just it's incredible, and especially for all of the students that you teach, you know, and what an inspiration.
Like I said, I feel like I'm just doing my job when I go in and teach and things, and I try to give advice where I can and stuff, but it's just so fun seeing what the new generation's going to be like, you know. And I go, I can see that person's going to be doing that.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So
definitely. So have you had like a favorite, has there been like a favorite part of playing Elphaba? What's it like being painted all green? How long does that take?
The green, oh my God, the green's amazing. We don't do it ourselves. We've got a gorgeous wig and makeup department that are incredible, by the way. Like, it takes about 25 minutes. And that's just for the first green. So Act 1 is one green, and then Act 2 she changes a little bit. She's a bit more mature. She has
it was a different colour.
No, the green is the same. Sorry.
Oh, right.
It's like then you have a bit more Act 2. You have a bit more contour. You've got purple contour. So she's a bit more mature, a bit more womanly. She's got some lashes on, and they come again in the interval when you're sitting having a cup of tea, which is lovely. And they come to do the rest of the green for you. So yeah, it takes about 25 minutes. To take it off takes about a year.
I bet you're going home with it every
you literally I remember going home once with it, and a man on the train was like, "What's that?" And I was like, oh.
I'm Elphaba, don't worry about it.
I was like, you won't know what it is. I was like, he has no clue. He's like,
no clue whatsoever. How long was the rehearsal process for that? So like when you got the call, like how many months do you rehearse before kind of opening night?
So for because I was a swing primarily, that's my main job, and then I was cover Elphaba. My main job at the start of rehearsals, when you do a cast change, it's normally about 4 weeks, and you go in and learn the show within those 4 weeks. So one day you'll sit down and learn all the songs, and then the next stage you'll be learning the scenes and the choreography and all of those sorts of things. Whereas if you're in there and your role is just Elphaba or Glinda or things, you'll spend the whole 4 weeks just doing that. I did all of my swing stuff and had to anyone that is a swing, you have to do, it's called a swing bible, where you write down all of the different tracks. You can use colors, you can use maps of the stage, and it kind of helps you if you go on for one person one day and one the other. You can look through your bible and you can go, right, Tilly went here today, and then you've got to go over here for Christina and all of that sort of stuff. So that's what I did for those 4 weeks. And then once the show's up and running with covers, they then do rehearsals during the day before the show. And those are normally last a couple of months, because you only get 2 days a week or 3 days a week to do the rehearsals. So yeah, that was my thing. So I think I started the show and then I didn't actually get signed off as a cover Elphaba for maybe another 2.5 months or something, and then I actually didn't go on at all as Elphaba in my first year at Wicked.
Okay.
No, I didn't do it at all, because we had the gorgeous Alice Fern as our Elphaba, and she was incredible, and she was just solid as a rock. And then we had my really best friend Laura Pick as the standby, and she was solid as well. So if they were ever off, the other one was there. 100%. So I never really got a chance to go on in the first year. And then the second year I had one set date in my contract, just in case I never went on again. And I invited everyone.
Of course.
I had 90 people in the audience, family, friends, like friends of friends, godparents, everyone in, because I thought, if I never get to do this again. It was an ongoing joke with my company manager, because I'd be like, can I have another 2 tickets? And then everyone was like, Bex, are you regretting this? And I was like, yeah. I was so nervous. I was like,
literally about to ask you, how did you, having knowing that you had all of your nearest and dearest and 90 of them taking up stalls, basically.
Honestly, it's such an iconic entrance for Elphaba. She is standing behind these doors at the back of the stage. You come through the middle, and it's like you're standing there and you can hear the audience, you can hear all the ensemble and Glinda doing the opening number, and you're like, I've got to do this.
And how did you deal with that, and how do you deal with like nerves and kind of before performances and things? Do you have a special kind of ritual or anything that you do?
Well, we've got this incredible dresser, Troy. So anyone that knows anything about Wicked will know who Troy is. He is like the king of Elphabas. Okay. He has done the show, I think, forever, and he does everything for you. Anything you need during the show, he does it. If you need a Jakeman, which is like a throat sweet, if you need a nebulizer, he fills it up. If you need your water bottle, he fills it up. If you need jelly babies, like anything, he has it. He has it. He asks you, what do you need? And he'll get it. And he's such a good energy because he can read what you need. If you need someone to make you laugh, or if you need someone to be stern, tough love, like, he's so good. And all he said to me was, he could see I was nervous and I was standing there, and he stands in front of you and he hands you your suitcase just before you go on, and then he leaves, and he went, go on then, and walked off. And I was like, okay.
Oh, then I will.
All right then. And so then I just did it. And as I came down, everyone was clapping, which was gorgeous. And so then I was like, right, I've got all my family, and it means the audience are going to be on my side no matter what I do. So I had the most incredible show. How I felt was so amazing. It was a moment I will never ever forget. Whereas going back to it now, after having a child, after doing other jobs, and going back and knowing that it's not just a job because it's an iconic role, but it is work, and it's not like brain surgery. And I then basically went, have fun. So this time going back in, I was just enjoying every single moment of it.
How you thought about it? Yeah,
I was like, I'm so lucky to be given this opportunity. I'm so lucky to be doing Wicked whilst the movie's coming out. I was just so appreciative of being there, and that the fact that they asked me to come back as well. I was like, just enjoy it. Like, you're not at home having to change a dirty nappy. You know what I mean? Like, just have fun.
Yeah.
My little thing I used to do before going on, I do a little 5-minute warm up, and then I used to FaceTime my son, say goodnight, and then I went downstairs and I'd go into the toilets, substage, and I'd put the hand dryer on, and I'd go, like, I'd do a big siren, try and do the high bits that I do. I think I did the end of Wizard and I or something. I'd be like, right, okay, good, here we go. And then you'd go onto stage, and then I'd do a couple of jumps with my suitcase before the door opened, and then I'd wave. I think you have the Morrible in the wings, wave to the Morrible, and any like swings or like ensemble you need, wave to them, and you'd run down.
And then just in it, and then your mind's gone, isn't it? Then you're just you're on. You
don't leave.
Ready. Oh no, that's really good, because I think that just shows that no matter what level of a performance it is, you still get nervous. It's still it's still you know, something that happens. So
I think it's good to be nervous, because it means you care. It means you care about what you're about to do, which means you're going to do a really good job. And I think if you keep the balance correct in the fact of don't let your nerves take over, but you have the little bubble in your belly, I think that's perfect.
So before we go on to quickly about Frozen, what kind of what's your favorite? Have you got a favorite part that when you played Elphaba, or just in Wicked, or So
my favorite part was the first time I did it was No Good Deed. Loved the song, thought it was incredible, and it's so much emotion, which was great. When I went back the second time, it was actually doing Defying Gravity. It's called Wizard's Palace, Act 1. It's the scene before Defying Gravity where Elphaba goes and meets the wizard. She's meeting her icon, and it's like such high hopes, and she's so excited, and it's like her dreams are coming true. And it's the emotion of the scene going from there, going all the way down to realising he's a villain and he's not going to help you. And I remember I'd always think of like my son at that point, and it'd always get me emotional, and that's how I got into Defying Gravity. And doing the war cry, which is the end of Defying Gravity, doing that when the film had come out was iconic, because you could tell the audience were like,
how's she going to do it? How's she going to do it?
What's going to happen? That was really, really cool. So that's my favourite moment.
Amazing. And Frozen, so when we tell us about Frozen and your favorite part of Frozen, and just a bit about how you what was the audition process like for Frozen?
So Frozen was amazing. It was my first job where I had got ensemble and a cover. I didn't have to worry too much about learning all the other bits and bobs. The audition process was really, really gorgeous. We did our own song. We went in and chose our own song to sing for the film. You go in and you have the MD, you have the director, you have the casting team, and then you have a pianist who is normally an assistant director or someone that's working on the show. So there's only like, I'd say maybe like 4 people in the room. Do your own song, and then they kind of decide if they want to recall you and who they want to recall you for. And obviously I thought I'd probably be in for Elsa because Elphaba and Elsa are very similar. But one of the people on the team knew me and they were like, her personality is Anna. She's a bit crazy. I was like, oh yeah, I am. So then I got given some Anna material, Love is an Open Door, and then I got given a couple of scripts. And then I went in and did that. And then if you got a recall again, we then did a workshop where the team work on what they want from you and how they want you to act and sing and all of that. And then you do a final. In the final, where I did all my singing material, there was hundreds of people there.
And don't they zoom it because it's Disney, right? Didn't they?
Well, they were there. I think
they were there.
Yeah, so because it was a newish, we were the first recast for Frozen.
Yeah.
They a few of them came. They still film it and then they send it off to some people that couldn't come. But that's the difference between doing a Disney show and a show that isn't Disney. There's loads more people that are on the panel. And I think there was 2 rows of people, which was quite intimidating. But yes, that was really cool. And then got the call and got the job, which was amazing.
And how long were you in Frozen for?
I did Frozen. Technically, I did it for 2 years, but I got pregnant in my 2nd year, and then slowly came out of the show. I was like, I can't be dancing anymore. I'm too big for that. But I was really lucky because we filmed Frozen for Disney Plus, and it was really cool. And luckily, I got there just before I left because I was 6 months pregnant when they did the filming for Disney Plus, which was such a challenge, but so amazing, and something that me and my son watch now. He's 17 months and I watch it and I go, that's you in my belly. And he like dance.
Yeah, no, it's really amazing. So plug if no one's watched it yet. Meg's in it. It's amazing. I know. I watched it when it came out. You're going to have that forever. You as like a memory, aren't you? That you've
100%. Yeah. I don't know if my son will be embarrassed or think it's really cool, but we'll see.
We go through a bit of both, like depending on
up and down. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, any favorite part of playing Anna was there? I just thought, I mean, the whole thing was amazing, but all of the sets and the costumes, when I came to watch you, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, this is unbelievable. All the diamonds.
Yeah.
Just
in Let It Go, the curtain actually have, I can't say this word, I'm awful, Swarovski,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
diamonds. It actually had those crystals on the set. So you can imagine what the Elsa dress was made of, absolutely stunning. But yeah, I think all in all, I think my main favorite thing about Frozen was the company that I worked with. The cast were so incredible and it made everything so fun. So when we're in Fixer Upper, which is like the party number, I'd say everyone genuinely were having like a ball. We were like laughing, joking and like really enjoying ourselves. So that was so fun. But specifically as Anna, my favorite moment of course was First Time in Forever. Like you come on stage with Bedhead, like iconic, like so fun, and like you have like this funny little scene and then you sing this gorgeous song and you're in like this stunning ball gown with like, I mean, you've got a real corset on underneath, which is hell to sing in.
I was going to say
it's not great when you've had like a burger for lunch, you know. Sort of. One of my favorite moments near the end of the contract was the finale when we were all on stage together and we go on the revolve and the Elsa and the Anna go up and it's just the music, because I think for me the main thing about musical theatre is the music, like not even singing, it's actually listening to the orchestra, because our orchestra were just incredible, and listening to that and singing the harmonies that we were given for the finale were just so gorgeous. And I think when you have everyone on stage, I mean, bar the Hans, bless him, he's in the wings. But everyone else on stage, I think it's such a gorgeous moment as a company. So that was my favourite one. And you could see how much the audience had loved it at that point, like, because they're all standing, clapping, and there's snow everywhere. So yeah, it's gorgeous.
Working together. Oh, no, that's lovely. So what advice would you have for any students that are kind of thinking, I want to do that, I want to be in the West End? One
of my main pieces of advice is actually a bit of advice my husband gave to me, and he's not in the industry, by the way.
Okay.
He doesn't do performing arts at all, but when I was struggling and getting rejections and all of that, I was so devastated every time I got a rejection, and I was crying and I was going, I should give up, like what's the point, like I should find something else to do. And he said, when you stop getting this upset about a rejection, you can give up. but because you're getting so upset, it means you love it and you want to do it still. He said, when that happens, then you can give up. So my advice to other people is, if you truly, truly want it, don't give up. You know, like if you're getting upset about all the rejections and all of those, you keep going, because it means you care so much, you know.
That is so true. And I think you just, I haven't heard that before. So that's
yeah. And it's hard because rejection is such a big thing in this job. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, it's hard. It's really, really hard, which is why you have to really want it. And if you do, like, look at those schools that give funding and see how you feel after doing a couple of years training at like the Brit School or things like that. See how it goes, and if you really, truly, truly love it, you'll know. And that's why I'd say then go into it, because when you get the high, it's so worth it.
Yeah. And I think as well, if it is something that you think as you're younger you do want to, then also it's doing those classes, isn't it? Doing those things.
Yeah, local dance schools, even like going like to workshops, you know, like they have music on and like things like that. Go and do a class with those guys and see how you feel. And you can do workshops, and you can do like Select is incredible. Like the fact that people have got this opportunity to then have a principal like you, like, it's just amazing. Do you know what I mean? So I think finding all those gems and just keep going, and then once you've done class and you've done the singing, you've got to an age where you've got to take it to the next level, you'll know.
Okay, we're just going to finish off with some questions from some of our students. So Sophie, I believe from Mikey's Monday street dance class, I think, has asked, what's your favorite part about acting?
Hi Sophie. Oh, I love that question. My favorite part about acting is being able to be someone that you're not in real life, you know. So say I get a role and they do something really embarrassing and silly that I would never normally do in my real life. It's so fun to do it because no one's going to judge you. You can just have a bit of fun and you just get to do those silly things. And like other stages, like being painted green, when would I ever get a chance of doing that? Being able to be someone that you're not, that's my favourite part about acting.
We'll do two more. And Naya, again from Mikey's class, has asked, who is your favourite singer?
Naya, oh my gosh. My favourite musical theatre singer, I'm going to have to say, is Alice Fern. I just think she's incredible. She's so inspiring and she's such a lovely person as well. Side note, she gave me a little survival pack when I went on for Alphabet for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And then my favourite singer is Hayley Williams from Paramore.
Oh, nice.
There. Yeah.
Very nice. Anbar has asked, what's your favourite food to eat before a show?
My favourite food. So when I was pregnant, it was an apple. I had an apple every single day before the show. And then in normal life, it is a Colin caterpillar.
Oh,
classic.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. That has been incredible, so insightful and so inspiring for all of our students, and also grown-ups listening and any performers listening. Just been amazing.
So, thank you for having me.
Obviously, so welcome. So yeah, big thank you, and hope you all enjoyed listening.
Hey guys, it's Mr. David here. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Select School of Performing Arts podcast. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and subscribe, and you can also find us on social media at Select School of Performing Arts. Select.